What's going on, everybody? It's your boy QuestX coming back at you once again. So, Luis King Ortiz, he basically was asked his opinions and thoughts as to how a Wilder versus the fake UK heavyweight champion would go. And Luis King Kong Ortiz basically echoed the sentiments of what a lot of the ex heavyweight champs have been saying, a lot of pundits have been saying, we here in the LDBC have been saying, and he thinks that within 3 to 4 rounds, it's night city for that fake UK boxing heavyweight champion. Listen, I don't think if someone were to ask me, what my thoughts on Luis saying this, what it is, it's just that Luis is just telling the truth. He's telling you, based on being in the ring with this long, rangy, very awkward, powerful, intelligent heavyweight that he was in the ring with, and getting smoked because Luis Ortiz got smoked, just like everyone else who's stepped in the ring with Deontay Wilder has received the right hand treatment. Listen, this is really simple. I feel that the fake UK champion was a propaganda tool, and a lot of people bought into it, and people bought into a lot of what some of these major channels that promote the fake UK champion. They try to tell you that, he's this slick and smart, and he's this amazing talent, and he fights the best, and he's this and he's that. Well, then it's time to put up or shut up. It's time to listen. If your guy is this good, if your guy has put in so much work, right, to the point where you are confident in his ability and skill set, put him in the ring with the guy that you guys talk about his legs. You talk about how sloppy he is. You talk about, the excuses each time Wilder wins are laughable at best. Okay. And every time he steps in the ring with an opponent, you from the detractors, the Wilder detractors, they try to sit there and say how the opponent is going to beat him, and every time they fail. So again, you'll get from time to time a fan of the fake UK heavyweight champion who will tell you all the reasons why his fighter is going to beat Wilder. And when you ask him a question as to, hey, man, why haven't this fight been made? They will regurgitate everything that Eddie Hearn has talked about and has said. There's never any individual thought of their own. They can never tell you or explain to you why contradicting interviews don't make sense on their champion's side. The message has been consistent from Deontay Wilder and Team Wilder. And listen, it is what it is. Ultimately, I think this was the ultimate big boy thing for Luis Ortiz to say, because remember, initially after the initial loss to Wilder, Luis Ortiz was a bit salty. But that's the competitive nature that people have. Nobody wants to lose. And in fact, Luis Ortiz diminished or tried to say that Wilder's power wasn't all that. I will sit here and say this. With the recent talks from Evander Holyfield, one of my favorite cruiser and heavyweight fighters of all time, with the recent him basically criticizing the fake UK champion, with other greats, heavyweights, basically calling the fake UK champion out for being exactly that, a fake UK champion, and conducting himself like a coward. I will sit here and say that for Luis to come out and say that, you got to ask yourself, what is behind the scenes? Let's not talk about when the cameras are on. Okay, and I want a lot of the Wilder detractors to sit here and think about this. While you sitting here coming on the internet, talking about how the LDBC ain't shit because we defend Wilder and we're Wilder fanboys and we don't know the sport, and you compare resumes and you do all this political jack. right? While you're doing all of that, think about how the fake UK champion's peers look at him and ask yourself, would the most feared heavyweight champion in the division be treated like that? Or would the most pussy and coward heavyweight champion be treated like that? Makes you wonder, right? Makes you wonder. Makes you wonder what his peers really think of him. Listen, I alluded to it when I talked about the Big Baby Miller situation when Eddie Hearn and the fake UK champion came here to the States. I watched the interviews. I watched the interviews. A lot of people sit there and say, oh, yeah, you know, the Big Baby Miller thing was an act, man. It was just promotion. But did you listen to what Big Baby Miller said? Big Baby Miller, dare I say, said at one point in the interview, he called him a fake black man. He alluded to it. I'm telling you, a lot of people don't respect the fake UK boxing heavyweight champion. A lot of people know and have an animosity towards him because of how he's conducted himself. Has nothing to do with how many tickets he sells. Has nothing to do with, you know, how what his checks look like at the end of fights or what they don't look like. It has to do with who he's aligned himself with and his constant contradictions in interviews. You don't think these people who are so-called journalists who do interviews with the fake UK boxing champion ain't saying the same thing behind closed doors? But see, I can tell with the emotion and how emphatic a lot of you guys are who call us Wilder fanboys. You guys truly believe the hype. You believe this product that's been sold to you. And there's only one way that this is going to end. Okay? And it's going to end the same exact way it did for Manny Pacquiao fans during the age of the Mayweather-Pacquiao saga. You're going to end up brokenhearted. You're going to end up with your head held down and you're going to be searching and scratching and just looking for any sort of way to survive, which will be Tyson Fury. If Wilder doesn't get to Tyson Fury first. And I really, really hope that Wilder gets to Tyson Fury first. I really do. So, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. That's my thoughts on this whole Luis Ortiz giving him props. Listen, it's just a further echoing of what we all know what's going to happen. Okay? We said it. I mean, I don't know how many times. I don't even have to go into it. It is what it is. It's your boy Questex. I'm out. Peace.